Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1. It's been a few weeks, almost a few weeks since I did my last video, as far as the one I actually produced myself. So, man, there's so much that's gone on again. And, you know, basically after this, probably around the 2nd of January, I had this experience. God's given me all these different experiences at different times to give more messages to me as I've asked and I prayed and different things. And I did not expect this at all. So I've switched from a job that I had with a nonprofit, so I could do videos and do some other things. And so now I'm basically I have clients and I'm driving for clients and things like that. So I'm going to try not to get into too much stuff and just go through this somewhat quickly. I don't know if can succeed, but I'm going to try that anyway. So I'm going to talk about this. So I basically went to drop someone off in this area, and I was in traffic, and this was a couple days. I think this was on the 2nd, January 2nd. So nothing happened on New Year's Eve, on the Gregorian, whatever. And then here I am in the 2nd, and I'm driving. I'm driving in this lane right here, and it's actually all backed up. It's all backed up right here, and I'm not even paying attention. And I've driven by this at different times. And in fact, with this new job, I'm driving by here more often, but not too often. And so anyway, I end up we're going really slow right about here, maybe back here a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I look and I'm seeing in my right, in my peripheral, kind of this flash, 11:19. And it just looks like this. It's see where it says that we install, and it's all these different, like sometimes there's an American flag waving and these little LED, whatever that is, the little lights there for this business here. And then this background was yellow and it's flashing, and the letters were actually black like this. I went back after that a few times. I couldn't see it, but anyway. So I don't know why they were doing it at that time, flashing and stuff, but it was flashing, and yellow flashing is warning, of course. And I ended up being right in here, and it was right on my peripheral. And I looked right at it, and it was flashing 11:19, and then it went to some like we install or whatever, and some other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god! And then I kept going, and I'm like, I felt the Lord really gave me information there, and like I've been talking about in my last video. If you haven't seen my previous videos, iPad Goat 2 solved, part 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Watch those if you can. I mean, some are a little longer, of course, but they're worth it to get a good background for what I'm talking about in this video. And I'm not going to cover everything in this video because it's just too much. Also, I want to again put a shout out to Jkbugout, and I'll have again another link in the description box to his kind of a synopsis video of what iPad Goat is and everything, which I give him so much credit to understanding that iPad Goat 2 is a timeline. Okay, and I've kind of gone a little bit different direction after that with him. Than him and things like that, but we have a lot of similarities, and a lot of the foundation I based on what he has already found. So thank you, JK, for all your findings, and again, his link is in the description box. Also, the video iPad Goat 2 is in the link in the description box, should be at the top. So I'm gonna have these different videos. If you can, check them out. Maybe even stop this and check some else out, or just go through this, and you're gonna have to go back and look at some of this if you don't know this already, some of these things. Okay, so that happened, and then so days went by, and I'm going by this way again, and then I'd end up picking somebody up in that area and then dropping off somewhere. And I decided, I got a thought in my head to go back and use that example in my next video, because a lot of things were coming together about my next video and what the Lord was really telling me. I was actually in the shower, and as my manner is, different ways I spend time with the Lord, and in the shower I'm praying and I'm just begging him for information. And it really, at that time, it was really getting close to the Lord and just loving on him, and then asking him for just help also in addition to, because I spent time with him, I just loving on him and him loving on me. And I just say, hey, is there something, can I get more information here to help people and everything, and my brothers and sisters and other people? And then he said to me, Chinese New Year, not Gregorian. I was like, what? And then that made sense with this, and I was like, oh my goodness. And so anyway, I went back to this days later, and I was going to take a picture to use in my video, and I had no idea what was going to happen. So I'm trying to take pictures of this, and then all of a sudden, not even realizing what time it was after I dropped off this client of mine, 923 just, and I'm waiting for the time to appear because I've seen like an American flag and it said we install and some other stuff. And then all of a sudden 923 pops up, and you could have knocked me over with a feather. I was so shocked. I mean, this stuff blows my mind. Not only did I have that 1119, which again in iPad Go, and I'm going to show you, is 11S, or it's all, but what it really is 1119, and I'm going to show you that. So that was completely mind-blowing. God's done this stuff for me, and Lord Jesus has done this stuff for me so many times at different times when I really need it, and I need it for you guys, the ones who are looking for this stuff. He's just so awesome. So there's probably something in this phone number too, but I haven't spent the time. Anyway, so moving on here. So as I've said before, on this box represents the 6th lunar calendar month, which is the month of the goat, okay, in the Chinese lunar calendar. And there's the 11 right there. There's also an 11 right here, and there's an S down there. That's in my previous video. But there's an 11 right here, and then there's also an S right here. See the S on the bell, and that's a warning bell, of course, a warning for these attacks that are coming. And again, my previous videos talk about more of this stuff. I'm not going to hit everything. I'm going to try to get through this video somewhat faster than normal, but I don't know if I'll succeed. I may not. This might be another long one. I'll do my best. I'm just interested in maybe shorten it for people who originally look at this and go, hey, I don't want to sit through a whole hour and 45-minute video or hour and a half video. So we'll see what I can do. And so basically what that is, and this is the Gregorian lunar calendar conversion table for the Zhi year of the pig, if I'm saying that right. Zhi, I think it is. And so 1119 is 1119, which is the first lunar calendar month, and the first day is the same one right here, 11, and then this is 19. Okay, of course 19 right here. So that's what 1119 is. It's really 1119, and that's why I thought it might be on the Gregorian. That was my last video, but the Lord, I believe He showed me in the shower that it is the Chinese New Year. Okay, that's why it's going to be in February instead. So let's get into more stuff here. Okay, so to recap, if you haven't heard from me or seen my videos, I had a dream about 3.5 years ago, and I've had a couple other dreams since, several other dreams actually, but some relating to this timing and these mega tsunamis that are pre-planned for both East and West coasts. Okay, but I got this 923, America is laid low, in a dream when I was with some friends at McDonald's. It's kind of weird. I don't go to McDonald's, but it was just kind of weird how this worked out. And one friend saw it when he looked at it a certain way, and the other one didn't. And I think that's like how it's going to be with people. Some people are going to see this, some people are not. But America's going to be laid low. And I didn't know if that was a date or not. But this is kind of shaping up to be kind of a hidden date in a few different ways. And I'm going to show you that. Okay, so right here in iPad Goat, after the goat scene, you immediately have this character Draco, which represents the dragon, or it's Satan basically. And I've shown this one in my previous videos, but you have a 923 and 11S, which is 1119. So that's first month, first day, or first day, first month, however you look at it, depending on where you are in the world. And then S is 19, so that's 1119. First day of the year, first month of the year, or first month, first day, year 19. So that's New Year's Day. Okay, again, on the Chinese lunar calendar, I thought it might be the Gregorian, but it's not. And then we have 9, and then we have 2, 3. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit. So there's a 9 right here, and it can't be super obvious because then everybody would see it. It'd be kind of hidden, so this might be kind of distorted, top of the 9, but you have the fat part of the 9 right here. It's a 9, and then it's a 2, and then it's a 3 right here. 3, 9, 2, 3. And these 923s are everywhere. In fact, I'm not going to cover all the places that 923s are in this video. I'm going to cover some. A lot of my previous videos cover those because I'm all about it, because I got a dream about it. And I believe it's a key to understanding and unlocking this. Also, 623 is, and that's Obama's birthday on the lunar calendar, especially this year. I'm going to get into that as well. And they're both. It's just the 6 is upside down as a 9, or the 9 is upside down as a 6. Okay, 23 is really important as well, too, in their whole eschatology and their whole the Luciferian global elite's belief system, which is a ripoff of God and Jesus. Okay, so again, we have 923 is on one side of this, and on the other side is 11S, or 1119. Okay, and that's showing it right there in the beginning. Okay, and then we have George Bush, and then he's doing the boom sign. He's coming out of that red air time where he's doing the boom sign, or there was a nuclear explosion and all that. But we have here the waves, like I explained in my last video, we have the waves right here, the water. This is water here. This is a tsunami waves, like in his hair, kind of hidden. Then we have S right here, and they have 11S. Okay, so that in a way has to do with, anyway, it has to do with what I just said, 1119. So it's first day, first month, 19th year, 2019 on the Chinese lunar calendar, the first day of the new year. Okay, and that's when these are planned to happen, I believe. And listen, I'm speculating even still. I don't know the future. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen on this date and time or these dates I'm going to mention. Okay, obviously I've been wrong before, okay, but as my understanding, as I'm getting more information, I'm getting puzzle pieces from the Lord, and then I've got to put the rest of the puzzle together, okay, based on what I'm given. And Jesus will not give us everything, okay? If you believe in him or if you don't believe in him, whatever the evidence is, it always is circumstantial and in pieces. If there's an investigation or if you're doing a court case or whatever, these are all pieces of fragments, and you've got to, if you're like a detective or you're a prosecuting attorney or whatever, or even a defense attorney, you've got to put all these pieces and form a narrative or a story or a picture. And that's what I'm doing my best to do. And I'm not going to be 100%. And also, I'm going to make mistakes and stuff, but I believe I'm getting closer to understanding this, especially with the keys I've been given and the keys I found. And you decide. You absolutely, ultimately decide if I have or not, okay? By the way, this is a U, this is an S, and this is an A, USA. Guy named, I think, channel name Truth Revealed, I think, showed that to me, and it was pretty awesome. So this USA and 11S, or 11S, okay, is right here. Then next, of course, I'm just going to recap this. For people who don't know, this is the shark, or the submarine. It's a man-made submarine, a man-made shark in a sense. It's a Russian nuclear sub called a Kila class, which means sub, and that comes from JK, his understanding. But I did have a little bit of understanding of these nuclear subs and some of this information about New York being attacked before I even heard of JK, but he put it all together in this understanding itself. So he's looking right at New York. He's pointing to Florida, which I believe they're going to get nuked by submarines in the water off the coast at some point. I'm going to talk about that, okay? But it's going to be nuke underwater, probably with a nuclear tipped torpedo, like a 100 megaton torpedo, something like that, okay? And there's a lot of things with this. There's actually, we have 3 drops here from this phallic symbol here, but the 4th one is in the eye. So there are going to be 4 explosions, I believe, when this is all finally done. And there are 4 actual snowflakes, which I believe represent nuclear winter. Okay, and there's more to this, so much more to this, and a lot of it I covered in my previous videos. I'm just kind of recapping here. And again, right up here, when this is happening, in the water, we have 11S up here on his hair, okay, or 11S, okay. And then here, I'm going to get into a different scene here, and I've talked about this several times, but this is the Hawaiian island right here, of the big island right here, and I've actually seen it off the coast of Hawaii. I've been there, and I've been off the coast in this kind of a view, and Kilauea is right over here. This is the East Rift Zone right here. It's kind of crazy. I've been there. I actually went there on, after my honeymoon with my wife years and years ago. So this is symbolizing also a tsunami wave right here, and this is Hawaii right here. There's so much going on here. This is actually showing 2 different years, 2018 and 2019. Sorry, 2017 and 2018. But there's a lot going on here. There's several slides of this movie, or several spots in this movie, or frames in this movie, which are showing 2 years, 17 and 18, even all the way up to the end of 18. I'm going to show you that. So right here, we actually have in the oil, which I found before in my videos I've shown, is 321. Now, we had 3 hurricanes that hit Hawaii, and that's the island of Hawaii. But what this is showing also is 1, 2, 3 backwards. And then, like I said before, and I've said many times, they do things upside down, backwards, and sometimes both. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3 backwards. So 1, 2, 3 is also very important as 1119 or 1119 or 11S, like I've been mentioning. Okay, so then this changes. This oil slick changes very quickly, and you got to take pictures of it and high definition everything, like I'm showing you. Well, first of all, there's 1, 2, 3, or it's 3, 2, 1, which is backwards is 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get a theme of 1, 2, 3 and 1, 1, 1, 9. Okay, now this is upside down now. Then it changes to this. If you can see this, it was 3, 2, 1. Now upside down and backwards, it's 1, 1, 1, 9. Okay, and then right here we have, this is a symbol of Hawaii right here, this little thing in the, right here, let me show you this right here. You actually can't see right here, I'll show you here a little bit. This Hawaii, this is upside down, and then this is New York, Statue of Liberty in the water here. But right here was the hurricane that was about to hit Hawaii on 9/11 this last year. Okay, in 2018. It's several symbols. These are multiple symbols overlaid upon each other. And they have multiple meanings. This is multi-layered symbolism here. Okay, so this is 1119. Okay, and that's having to do with the when that hurricane was at that time this last year in 2018, 9/11/2018. It was about to touch Hawaii. That was Hurricane Olivia at that time. You can look it up. Anyway, but this is also talking about, which that was a symbol of the future tsunami that was going to hit Hawaii, which is 1119. Okay, all right, this is crazy. All right, now next thing is 1119. That's 11S or 1119. Okay, first month, first day of 2019 on the Chinese lunar calendar is what we're talking about here. Okay, now, again, in this transition, just for people who haven't seen this, and just to recap, and this changes again, the oil slick, and then it goes away, and then so this scene goes into the next scene when you have Hawaii here, you have New York here, and then there's a time here and everything, and then check this out. This is Hawaiian Island again, and this is where Kilauea is, and it's exploding. See all that smoke and ash and whatever it is right here? Okay, and then it morphs into this, it changes into this scene here, okay? Now, I've had a lot of things in the back of my mind, and they just didn't kind of work out. And I'm going to show several things in the back of my mind I've had for months, and they finally worked out. This is crazy. And some of my understandings have changed a bit, and I'm not saying I have it all together yet, but I'm getting closer, I think. Okay, and again, this is all my speculation. Okay, I might be wrong in different things even still, which I probably will be. Okay, but this is the tsunami wave, and JK originally pointed this out, the tsunami wave. Now, what I'm saying now is that this tsunami wave is showing it hitting Hawaii. And there's a person, I cannot remember who it was, I apologize, but if you're still watching, you pointed out I can't remember her name, but anyway, that this, if you squint, this is HI for Hawaii, and it's an island also. I also believe this is S and 11. Okay, that's crazy because I showed that earlier, 11S with Hawaii above it. So this is the tsunami hitting Hawaii at this point, and then it's almost to New York. So I think this is a timeline of very close. Hawaii gets hit first now, and then New York. Okay, so this is the reason I have this lightning bolt is because I believe, and I'm going to use this as a pointer, because I believe, like I've shared many times, Barack Obama is the Antichrist, and he is lightning falling from heaven, like Jesus said in the Bible, because his name is Barack Obama, which means in Hebrew, lightning falling from the heights, or falling from heaven is Barack Obama, which is crazy. Okay, I have over 200 reasons now, solid reasons why Barack Obama is the Antichrist, and nobody comes close. And I'm going to show more of those here that I've never shown before. Okay, so right here, at this time, when this happens, guess what? It's 2 o'clock. So it's going up and down. This is the big hand, this is the small hand. This would be 12 o'clock, 12, and this would be 2. This is 2 o'clock. And guess what? And I was pointed out this by a few people in my last video. Okay, since the summertime, spring and summertime, and then now going to the fall, we had a time change because of daylight savings time, okay? But before that, there was a 6-hour difference. And so that lended itself to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. In Hawaii to 3 p.m. or 3 a.m., 9 to 3 in New York. Well, the time changed because of that daylight savings time, but guess what? I didn't know. I knew Arizona didn't follow the daylight saving time change, but I didn't know Hawaii didn't. And so they're correct. There are a couple people that pointed that out. Most people point stuff out very rudely, and I don't really care for that, but I'll take it anyway. And so I looked at these possibilities, and it actually ends up being better and more amazing. And the truth is just what it is. I will go with the truth. Even if I'm proved wrong, I don't care. I mean, we're going to be wrong thousands and thousands and thousands of times as we grow and we get older, but you can't let that affect you. You got to keep bouncing back, right? So when this is 9, this is 2. Okay, so this is just showing the time in the East Coast when this happens in Hawaii. Okay, so this is obviously happening. If this is a tsunami wave, which I believe it is representing, then it's happening in Hawaii. Why at 9 while it's 2? Now, why do I think it's 9? I've mentioned this in my videos. Right here is 9, is a 9, and it's in a 9 position. This is 12, okay, and then this is 9, and it looks like a 9. And I've shared that with you many times in my other videos, if you don't know that. So that's important. So we have an hour difference in time, and then let me show you this here. So why we have an hour difference in time. So when it happens, and this is a little bit after 9, because these are not exactly right on time. If you see, this is a little bit after the tick mark, and then this one up here is, I don't have it on here, but this is a little bit after the little tick mark right here. So both times are a little bit after the time, either 3 or 2 or 9 in Hawaii. But there's a difference. So what I see so far is Hawaii is gonna be hit first at 9, a little after 9 p.m. I believe, which will be 2 a.m. in New York, and then about an hour later, as you see this wave, it will be closer to the Statue of Liberty in this slide. Now it's a lot closer. In fact, it's actually touching it with this dark parts, plus this star here, which there's an 11-pointed star underneath the Statue of Liberty right now. It's an 11-point star, and that's occultic and everything. I'm not sure why they do a 6-point star. Maybe because the people who are ultimately behind this are, Zionists. The Illuminati are ultimately the highest order, the families that are Zionists. They're false Jews. I love Jewish people, okay? And we're not talking about the normal people. We're talking about the elites, the Luciferian global elites, who are the false. They have lineage of Jewish ancestry because they want to be the false Jews, basically, in their minds, and the Luciferian Jews. It's crazy, the synagogue of Satan, as the Bible would say. Okay, but right here, this orients these points right here orient it to, this is north and south or top to bottom. So this ends up being a little bit after 3. Okay, so when New York is hit, and you see this thing is underwater right here, representing the star, the platform that's star-like underneath the Statue of Liberty, it just gets hit. So that's about an hour difference. So what I'm seeing here is that Hawaii is going to get hit first, a little after 9 p.m. on that particular date. Then the next day, technically, which is just an hour difference, is 3 a.m., a little after 3, and I'm going to just say 3:11 or 9:11 for Hawaii, just because I'm just picking a time just after that time. Again, it's after the tick mark, and this would be a little after the 12 here. So these are both after. So it's just a little after 3. And I'm going to show you, I've shown other things where it confirms that it's after. So anyway, and then we have, we have the white rabbit here. We have the white rabbit here, which is going to a strange place. There's white rabbits all over this place, like I've talked about, okay? So that's what I'm saying there. And then I got this barrel, and I've talked about this in my videos, 9/23/12/01, okay? This was an amazing gift by God. I was sent this, and where I worked at the time, this nonprofit, I didn't know this had this. Someone pointed out this was an olive barrel, like, wow. And then I ended up looking at this because I didn't see it from this side ever, and I could not believe what I saw. I almost felt like I was going to pass out. I could not believe what God had placed in my lap, and now I finally understand it. I mean, there's probably multiple things going on here, like usually happens with God's symbolism, but this is 9/23. This is the day we're talking about, and I'm going to talk to you about what I think those are right now. I've talked about it a little bit, but how this shakes out. And then look at this, 12:01. Now listen, when I said that Hawaii gets hit at a little after 9 p.m. Hawaii time, and it equals the same time. It's a little bit after 2 a.m. New York time. 2 hours earlier is my time. I'm in Mountain Standard Time, which would be 12. A little after 12 is 12:01. And this may be 1 minute into it, or 1 second, or 1 millisecond. This may be the twilight hour this may be the twinkling of an eye. It could be 1 nanosecond or whatever it is. This is crazy. If you understand this, it is mind-blowing. This is where I am. This is Mountain Standard Time. This is even better than that 3 a.m. thing I had with it all happens at the same exact moment. When this happens in 2 a.m. in Hawaii, which is 2 a.m. in New York, but it's going to happen in Hawaii a little after 9 p.m., Then it's 12 a.m. my time, and the next second, next millisecond, nanosecond, whatever it is, microsecond, I don't know, is 9:23. And I'm going to show you what I think that is. But this is insane. So he's given a personal message to me. Unbelievable. Mind-blowing to me. I mean, I hope you see this. Okay, but there's a scene here when this old woman that's in the tower in Jkbugout, she's blown back because there was a nuclear attack. I talked about in my other videos, like I mentioned, but right here, there's a spot right here, and then hidden in here is 3 o'clock. See that? And this hand is a little bit past it, kind of angled. This one is not as obvious, but this is 3. This confirms that when she gets blasted back, because she's in New York, and I've shown that, she's in the tower looking in her eye, I've shown, is what she sees. She sees this scene right here. And I've shown that in my other videos. You can check it out. I'm not going to recap that. Okay, but that shows 3 a.m. in New York, when New York gets hit, boom, with that nuclear attack that caused a massive tsunami, which is on our money and everything. Jonathan Kleck found that originally years ago. If you fold your money a couple times and it's like a triangle looking thing, it shows a nuclear attack on the most recent $100 bills, and then 9/11 was shown in the past on a $20 bill and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. Okay, so right here, as I was shown before, this is the 9 here. And again, this is representing Hawaii, because remember I showed you that island, and this was coming off as in smoke and ash and everything, right? So this is that 9 o'clock, a little after 9, a little tick mark here. And then we have 9, 2, 3. 9 is backwards, upside down and backwards, 2, 3. Okay, 9, 2, 3. And remember, I was given that code by the Lord, I believe. Okay, 9, 2, 3. And then, so right here, what I'm trying to show here was this. Okay, so, and then we have Lily. Okay, remember that was Hawaii. So this is Lily. And then back here behind her is 2017, the figures that represent each month of 2017 on the Chinese lunar calendar. The first month was the Yin year, and then I think the next year, 2018, is the Yang year, something like that. Okay, but I want to show you this. Okay, so right here, this is Barack Obama. By the way, like I mentioned before, these are all presidents. Kennedy's over to the right over here. This is what's his name? Carter, because he had a cat named Yin Yang or something, and he has a Yin Yang symbol on his head, which is also the shape of his hair. We have Barack Obama. He has got the ears. There's an ear right there. He's also purple. I've shown the purple reference to Barack Obama so many times. That's his favorite color. And then right here on him, we have an L in the lightning bolts, pointing out the L, and then the upside down or just different sided C. It's LC. And L is the 12th letter of the alphabet. Okay, 12, and then C is the 3rd letter of the alphabet. So that's LC 12, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. What is that pointing to? 12, 3, which is 1230 minus the 0, because they don't count zeros. So 0, 0. Okay, and then, but look at her. Okay, this is New Year's Eve. So we have 2017 going to 2018, but what I believe this is also 2018 going into 2019. And this is the Chinese lunar calendar. Back here, like JK has shared, he knows better this than I do, but back here is the Gregorian, because on the Gregorian you have on April 1st, with a little leaf up here, was April Fool's, which is very rare to have it on Easter, is the Easter bunny, and then there's a little leaf right here. So it's April 1st. There's a little leaf right here. We have January, February, March, April. Again, JK found this. He understands this probably more than I do, and I'm not getting all this, but this is Gregorian back here. This is Chinese lunar, what I believe, and what he believes. But ultimately, she is the transition. I'm going to show you. She's the transition from 2017 to 2018 and 2018 to 2019. This is crazy. Okay, and let me show you this. So she on her dress has 9 backwards, 2, 3, which looks very similar to that Hawaii explosion. Again, this is New York, because the apple is associated with New York, the big apple. And when the apple falls, like JK has pointed out, but he had a subscriber that pointed this out maybe over a year ago. And I think it was Beth L. I think Beth L. pointed that out, that originally, I think it was I don't know how long it was going on, but definitely in the 80s, he shows a video where an apple's the apple's going down instead of the ball dropping on New Year's, because it was representing the big apple. Now it's a ball, but it was an apple. And so this is representing apple dropping, which is New Year's, which is 9. It falls down her dress on 9, 2, 3. And again, we have this Hawaii explosion, 923. See how these look similar? It's crazy. And I wouldn't even know that was there if God hadn't shown me 923 in a dream. And then I'd seen it in many movies and TV shows. Literally, look it up. 923 in movies. Look it up. You Google it or something. You will see, if you don't know this already, you'll see 923 upside down, backwards, all kinds of ways in thousands of movies, TV shows, music videos, commercials. It's insane. They're waiting for this day. And that is actually the birth of the Antichrist. And I'm going to show you that as well. Okay. Also, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, right? So the theme here is 1119 or 1119 and 1, 2, 3. So look, we also, in that 923 is also, this is backwards, L, see the L? 3. L3. Remember, L is 12th letter of the alphabet, and then we have a 3. 12-3 is 1, 2, 3. And so that is associated with New Year's because he drops the apple. So L3, or 1, 2, 3 is also associated with 9, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that and get into more of that. It's crazy here. So now look at this. I found this recently and just blew my mind. There's so much on this apple. It's insane. Again, this represents New York, and it also represents Hawaii. Now I'm going to show you this. It also represents the Antichrist and the birth of the Antichrist. Okay, because guess what? The Antichrist, Obama, was supposedly born. Now, when I say supposedly, I think they've made this all up to fit a time frame and all these different symbols and everything. For all we know, it all happened differently. I believe Barack Obama, and I'm not going to show all the evidence here, maybe ever, I don't know, but I've done a lot of research. Barack Obama is a clone. He's a mixed DNA. He's a clone. That's why they think he's the perfect person. And there's several reasons for that. No one knows his past, all that stuff. It's a fake birth certificate. Has been proven. His birth certificate is completely fake by 2 houses of certification. Okay, so right here you have a 9. See this 9 right here? 9. Then we have a 2. A 2 right here is 2. It's a 2 right here. Okay, 9, 2. It's backwards. 9, 2. And then check this out. There's a 3 right here. 3. There's a 3 right here. Now I tried to blow up the magnification. I tried to make it more contrast here. It kind of doesn't work very well. But I'm going to show you another thing which I did contrast and it works better. This doesn't contrast very well. Well, maybe I don't know how to do it properly. I guess that's possible. But that's a 9, 2, 3. So this is going to split. It shows it splitting, and then it's 9, 2, 3. There's several things going on here. Then you turn this thing upside down. Okay, and then we have, and I don't know if you can see this here, but you got to look kind of closely. And then this is 6. It works out to both ways. 6, 2. See this 2 right here. 2, 2 right here. 2. And then we have where that 3 was right here upside down. In part of that 3 is a dark 3 right here. 3. It's hard to see a little bit, but it's right here. There's a 3. And these 2, 3, this 3 upside down, this light one, and this dark one are intertwined right here in the top and bottom of these 3s. But there's a dark 3 right here. Okay, it's crazy. You can look at it yourself. Blow it up, look at it, whatever. So 9, 2, 3 is 6, 2, 3. And why is that? The Lord gave me a dream about this. So originally, remember, I got the dream about 9, 2, 3, America's laid low. And then it was a few months ago, and I shared this in my videos, I had a dream, and it was very short. It was so short, and it was like a dark background, and I saw Jesus on the peripheral of my eye, and I could tell because it was his hair, and I just knew his presence, and he looked like his normal self, not his glorified body, which I've seen as well in a couple dreams, but he looked like himself. And then I didn't really see his face directly, but he was on the side of me, and then I felt his presence of love and everything, and all he said to me was, 9, 2, 3 is 6, 2, 3. And I just, what? I woke up, it was so quick, but then it just unlocked so many things. I'm going to show you more stuff, and let me show you why. I'll show you here in a little bit. Okay, but so now, when the apple is upside down, now this is going to be hard to see. I really tried to make this better, but it's hard. So I had to take a piece, because where the light shines, it shines right on this A. So I had to cut a piece off to, hopefully you can see this. I had to cut a piece off of another thing to put it right here. But we have an H right here. It's dark H. Okay, right here, H. Again, these are kind of deformed a little bit, quite a bit, because it can't be obvious. And they're upside down. This one's upside down and backwards as well. So it's H. And I had to take another piece because there's a light shining right here. And this is an A right here, an A. Okay? Then we have a W right here. W is right here. then we have another A right here. And again, maybe I could have made it more contrasty. I did contrast this a bit. Yeah, I just couldn't get it quite right. It's hard to do that. Maybe there's something that could do it better. A is right here. And then we have an I. It's HAWAII. Hawaii. Are you kidding me? Now, already with other examples, other evidence, I already proved to myself it is Hawaii. But this is more examples, and I have more. Now look. Now remember, I've shared this before. Upside down on this apple this is the big island exploding. This is the Kilauea volcano exploding, right? Right? And then there's the lava that we saw recently with the fissures and the lava flowing in Hawaii. There it is. And that's, that, but you could still say, hey, that could be any volcano, whatever. Well, we got Hawaii. We have different things attaching that this is Hawaii. Here's one more. It's exploding. Now look, see this? This is an L. It's a little distorted, like I said, but L. Right here, the going up and down, and then kind of sideways here is an L. And then we have a C. This is a C. LC, which again is L is 12, C is 3. 12, 3 are 1, 2, 3, which is 12:30. It's New Year's Eve, the Chinese lunar calendar. The lunar calendar doesn't go to 12:31. It only goes to 12:30. Okay, so that's why you don't have a 31. It's a 30. Now check this out. Here's New York. Here's the Simpsons. Plug in New York again, and check this out. We have lunar calendar LC. So they're talking about this. I mean, they've predicted all kinds of devastation stuff and stuff in the future, so-called predicting the future. But it's really people are behind the scenes that are putting this together, demons that are behind the scenes, linking all this stuff together and giving you clues all over the place. So there's LC, lunar calendar, and it's the third 3 and then 12. 3 or 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's right here. And then, of course, Simpsons, there they are with New York underwater. Here I'm talking about tsunami with New York, and here they are underwater, showing the future, basically, in many ways they have. And I've shown that several times. Okay, then we have the apple again. Now I'm going to show you. So here's that was New Year. I'm going to show you why this is 2 years. Her dropping the apple. Okay, so imagine going from 17 to 18. So this is the beginning of 18. So you have the first month. Here's a moon, right? The first month. Okay, and then it rolls, and then we have it just passes. Now remember this because I'm going to show you again another example. But here's the 7th month, the lunar month, and then here's the 7th roll. And marked by the 7th moon here rolling, okay, and it's going towards the 8, and it's marking, so now it's in the 8th position. Well, it was in the 8th position before it split. Now I showed this in my last video, so you can watch that. I'm not getting into all this. So it ends up going right here, goes 8, and then it hits this, it's 9, it bounces this way, it's 10, and then it breaks open at 11. Okay, it breaks open at 11. That's 11th month in 2018. Okay, now when it breaks open, it's touching this toe part here. So it breaks open at 11, and that's 11 right here. See the 11 right there? That's the 11th month, symbolizing 11th month. Again, we're still in 2018. Okay, and it's touching the toe, which has a 1, 9. 1, 9. It's hard to see right here, but it's a 1, 9. Okay, so that's 1, 1, and 1, 9. It's 1, 1, 9. Or 1, 1, 1, 9, or 11, 19, which is the first day, the first month of year 19. 2019, right? And then it opens up, right? So we have the 11th month, and then like I did in my last video, I counted 25 petals here that are, pink or whatever. So 1125 is New Year's Eve on the Gregorian. But guess what? We have another clue that is the Chinese lunar calendar New Year of 1230. Okay, 1230 is the New Year. Like I said, 1, 2, 3. This is 12. So right in the middle of this 11, remember the 11 on the leaf? 25 petals. That's the New Year of the Gregorian. Right in the middle of this is New Year's of the Chinese lunar calendar. So we have 12. I don't even know what these are. I was going to look that up and I forgot. But what are these little things on the middle of called in the middle of a flower? But there's 12 of them. And then we have these dark petals that originally were closed and then opened up. One, and the Obama lightning bolts are pointing them out. 1, 2, 3. So we have 12, 1, 2, 3. 12, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or 1230. Okay? And then we have, Remember, it's coming up 11/19, which is 1/1/19. So 12/30 is New Year's Eve on the Chinese lunar calendar. 1/1/19 is the first day, the first month of 2019. So we're going from 2018 to 2019. Okay, so let me show you this on the conversion table again. Let me show you for the first time, I guess. So here we are. We're down here. Okay, we have. Actually, I want to show you this. This is what I want to show you. So 25. Remember the petals. Okay, there's the 25 petals, and we have the 11th month. Okay, remember, and that was on a Gregorian December 31st. Okay, so that's what that was initially. And then I'm going to show you here pretty soon here on the other conversion table going into 2019 why that is. But I want to really quickly hit again. They want to go from 9 to 3. So they have all these symbolism of 9 to 3, 9 TO3, and 9 number 2 3. Okay. And I've explained this. You look at my other videos for explaining this as far as the pyramid. 9 on the bottom, 3 on the top. 3 is godly. Also is 777, which is 2 1. 21, which is also 2 plus 1 is 3. And the bottom is 666, which is the world, and all kinds of stuff. And 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So that's the bottom. Now again, listen. This is their sick, satanic numerology. Okay, now God's numerology is perfect and awesome, and it's all over the Bible. And if you study, you understand a lot more things about God, which I have done. Okay, so there's good and bad numerology. For any of you people who think that it's bad numerology, no, there's good numerology. God uses 7s, God uses 5 for grace and different things. Jesus is 888, and he's also, Jesus is also 444. Anyway, there's several things. It's all God. And then the devil, Satan, Lucifer, has shanghaied it or counterfeited or robbed these ideas to make its own religion, his own religion. And so there's bad numerology, which is based on all kinds of different stuff. And you get astrology and all kinds of stuff. And you got good numerology, which is completely biblical. Okay, there's great books on biblical numerology, and they're messages from God. If you don't know that, you need to wake up to that. So many messages from God on numbers in the Bible. It's insane. I mean, he uses 14s and 7s and, 50s, jubilees, and, so many things. It's just so many numbers. All the numbers, really. 8 is a new beginning. 2 is a number for establishment. There's just so many numbers. It's crazy. 6 is the number of man. 7, spiritual perfection. There's so many things. I've shared this in different videos. Right up here, they believe they founded the United States in 1776. And then, by the way, 1776, like I mentioned before, is 888 plus 888. Okay, which is crazy. And they have all kinds of symbolism, all this stuff. And that's on our money and everything. But my point is, I want to get to this. So now I understand it's the Chinese lunar calendar going from 2018 to 2019, not the Gregorian. So that didn't happen. So this is my speculation right now. It's on the Chinese lunar calendar. So we go from 2018, which is backwards. Backwards is 8 plus 1 is 9, 2. 9, 2. 2019 backwards is 9. 1 plus 2 is 3. Again, this is their stuff. This is their messaging. God's not even part of this, okay? This is their sick messaging. And so I'm just interpreting I'm doing what Ephesians 5:11 says, to expose the works of darkness, not to be a part of it. I'm not a part of it. I'm reporting it to you. I don't do this. I don't use these numbers to tell the future or to follow their ways, okay? Give me a break. Okay, I'm doing the good job of exposing these things, okay? And so remember the 1, 2, 3 or the 12, 3? It is also can be seen as I, 2, 3. And I is the 9th letter of the alphabet, which is crazy. There's so much symbolism here. So going from 2018 to 2019, which is the apple falling over her dress, which is 9, 2, 3. Okay, which is also the next day. So this is the eve, which is the 12th month and the 30th day, and they get rid of the 0. The next day is the first month, the first day, and then 2019. So they show this 923, which is also broken down into 123 and 1119. Okay, and all this stuff, and iPad Go and movies, TV shows, all kinds of stuff. So I'm showing you, for example, in the Chinese lunar calendar, how it equates to the Gregorian as far as our time frame when this might happen is February 4th at roughly, it's sometime after 9 p.m., but I'm going to guess 9/11 because they love the 11s and whatever, but it could be some other time, but it's just after. So this is Hawaii, this red represents Hawaii time. or the event in Hawaii. So it's going to be after 9, or I was just going to say 9/11, okay, in Hawaii. And then at that same time, it'll be 2/11 in New York, Eastern Standard Time, but that is the Hawaii event. Then the New York event is about an hour later, which is on the 5th, technically, even though they're only an hour apart on the events because of the time zone differences and all that. So an hour later, it's going to be like I showed with the, that slide with the New York and then all that stuff. February 5th at 3:11 a.m. roughly is Eastern Standard Time is the New York event. And we got 923 as well, which is crazy. They love this 923 stuff. Okay, and God just gave me the download of that 3.5 years ago, and I didn't even know what it meant. It took me 3.5 years, more than a little over that, or right around that, a little over that, to get to this point I am. And again, I'm doing the best I can. I don't understand everything, not by a long shot. There's so much symbolism in iPad Go. There's so much symbolism and so many things I've looked at. And I can't even share all this stuff. I have even more I can share, but I'd have a massively long video. Okay, and then look, remember that I-23? Well, here's the Simpsons again, and he's got this like radioactive thing, or whatever, rod or whatever. And look, you got 12-3, or I-23, which is 9 is I. 9, I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. 923, or we have 12 because this is right on the same plane. 12-3 or 12-30 because the zeros, they don't count the zero. Again, all symbolism. I'm just talking about what I know their symbolism to be, the best I know. Okay, take it or leave it. Okay, so what is 1, 2, 3 again? Now I'm going to go with this. I told you what these other ones were. So her dropping the apple is not only from 2017 to 2018, now it's also from 2018 to 2019. Now I'm going to show you. This is in 2018 right here, which is so that's the 12th month. If you follow this all the way around here, over here, then you got the 12th month, the 30th day, which is 1, 2, 3. Again, get rid of the 0. And then, so that's Eve of the Chinese lunar. And then we have the first month and first day, which is 1/1/19. So back to back, of course, and then 12 midnight or 12:01 or whatever is the next day. So, which is February 4th and 5th on the Gregorian. Okay, so that's why I said Gregorian is February 4th and 5th. So this stuff's going to happen in February, it looks like. It may not happen, like I said, but in fact, it possibly won't happen, okay? But whatever. So I'm just speculating. It could happen, okay? So you need to be prepared in any way you can, or share this with people, please. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not looking for this to happen. I just know at some point something's going to happen. These things are going to happen. Signs all over the place are pointing to this, and things are speeding up if you haven't been able to tell. So, like I mentioned, the pyramid, in a concept, they want to go from 9 to 3, the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid, on 9-2-3, February 4th, 2018 to February 5th, 2019. Again, these are backwards here, and these are the dates, 12-3 or 12-30, and February 5th is represented in the Chinese lunar calendar as 1119. Okay, at 9-2-3, which is 9, of course, Hawaii time, 2 East Coast time with the same event here on this line. The next event an hour later, so 9-2-3. So I just want to sum it up all together and what I'm saying. Okay, and this is all symbolized again in iPad Go with the death character, and in blowing the or this party favor in the face, which I'm not going to show here, but it's in their face of the Asian girl, which is Korean, it looks like, because she has a tiger on the back of her, on her jacket or whatever, and that tiger is Korean, is representing Korea, and Koreans follow the same Chinese lunar calendar, and Korea, and especially North Korea, is a proxy of China. I mean, seriously, and they're probably going to be blamed for what the attacks that happened. I mean, all the stuff I've seen, it looks like it's showing that North Korea is going to be blamed for the attacks on the United States. And then we're probably going to attack them, and then another attack's going to happen, or whatever, something like that. But right in here is 9-2-3, like I've shown before. I'm going to show it one more time. We have 9-3-2 right here. There's actually several numbers in here mixed together, so it's kind of crazy. There's 3-2-2 in here. There's several things. It's really crazy. And then right here we have 9 backwards, 9. Then we have a 2, and we have a 3. It's kind of hidden a little bit, but it is here. 9 backwards, 2, 3. Okay. And that's showing the event of New Year's. And guess what? Explosion. I mean, look, fireworks on New Year's, of course. But it's the Chinese New Year, which they celebrate. And there's fireworks for that. It's a big deal in China, Chinese New Year. It really is. People migrate, or they travel long distances. A lot of people in China. I used to have a job where their Chinese New Year mattered in shipping materials and all kinds of stuff, and so we knew it slowed down to that time because a lot of Chinese took a lot of time off at that time, and it's really important to them more than it is actually here. It's actually a bigger deal to them than it is here. Okay, and then like I mentioned before, this is like a little offshoot of the maze that doesn't take you anywhere, but it is symbolic. Okay, there's several things where I thought might be real dates of these attacks, but they did have connections multiple ways, and many people have done this with videos and stuff in different ways, and then didn't happen. The dates didn't happen because the enemy does this on purpose to take you down a false path in the maze, and then you give up. But right here is what I showed with Obama's birthday when he was born in 1961 at 7:24 p.m. It's on his birth certificate. It's on his fake, false birth certificate that's been proven to be false. Okay, but if you take from his so-called birthday, because I don't believe he was actually born on that day for numbers of reasons, but they use it for symbolism and for all things to line up to make him be the Antichrist and everything. But let's just say he was. And then 666 months later, plus 666 days, plus 666 hours, all the way down, is New Year's of the Gregorian. And that's what I put in my last video. But it's symbolic of New Year's in general. Okay, just like the apple falling. Well, the apple is not falling. It's not going to actually technically happen on the Gregorian, as that already happened, but it's symbolically showing linking New Year's and New York and the apple. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. Now here's Obama in the window pane here, okay? And you've got 6 panes of windows here, right here. And this is very symbolic. Everything is symbolic in this thing. It's not just a cartoon, like some people say. It is so symbolic. There's so much going on. I mean, if you don't see that, I mean, it is so, and there's been many events that have been shown to be predicted in a sense. I think because they're behind the scenes, they didn't really predict it. They kind of caused it to happen. But this was made in 2012, right? This was made in 2012, and it showed Trump being president and many things, hurricanes happening and timing and all kinds of events that they couldn't have predicted, only if they were behind the scenes doing this stuff with world leaders and technology and everything, okay? So right here, right above, and I've shared this on one of my videos, but it's been a while, right above, remember, Obama's over the apple that splits inside this room. Right above here, guess what? Look at that. See that? You know what that is? That is the Hawaiian island chain, but it's backwards. It's a big island, and they're kind of, roughed or kind of bubbly shaped, but that is the Hawaiian island chain backwards. So when you go forward, the right direction, that's the big island. This is Maui. This is and it's kind of a rough, but it is. It is, and it was shown backwards and kind of bubbly, so you don't quite tell it is because it's backwards everything. But this is it. There's another confirmation, along with Obama being born in Hawaii, that this is Hawaii. That apple and that eruption is Hawaii and Kilauea. Another confirmation of that. You didn't know, okay? And then we have this. And I've shared this a little bit, but he is lightning falling from heaven, as Jesus said, Barak Bama in Hebrew. And then this is the Greek letter Phi. Okay, there's so much to this. I could do another video. In fact, I have a lot of information. I just don't have time for that. I wish I had more time. But you could look at it yourself. The Greek letter Phi is the golden mean or the golden ratio. And that's why he's a clone, because he has been put together by different DNA, and they consider him, the elites who made him, consider him to be the perfect man because he was created by them as a clone, okay? And there's a lot of evidence that you can look up a guy named Freeman and Obama being a clone. Look it up, and it will blow your mind. I think he's proven it. He is a clone, and no one knows his history. No one knows there's no real birth certificate. The birth certificate has been proven false by 2 different places that do certifications of criminal, or they basically, I can't think of what to call it now, but they basically certify documents. Okay, I think one was in Europe and one's in the United States. Anyway, Joseph Arpaio and the investigators brought that forward, and it's undisputable. Okay, so he is 623. Okay, his birthday this year was 623 on the Chinese lunar calendar, 6th month, 23rd day. Now this is significant. I'm going to talk about this more. Okay, but he is the Phi. Okay, what they consider the Phi. Okay, and why does 623? And I'll mention this. I showed this in a few videos, but I'm going to show it again to people who don't know. Right here, top to bottom, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like you would read, there's the 6. And then you go here next because that's the next one. 1, 2, 2. And then the bottom row is next. Top to bottom, left to right. 1, 2, 3, 3. It's showing right here. It's in several places in Jkbugout. I've showed in my other videos when it shows Lily. She's the slash on the 6 on the left, or the 6, and then there's 2 and 3 on the right of her. I've shown that as well. And then here's Obama signing different things. Okay, by the way, we were built, W is represented as 6 in Hebrew, 666. Anyway, but he is the Phi. He signs it as the Phi, and he knows he's the Phi. He believes he's the Phi. He believes he's the golden mean, the golden ratio, the one who's going to bring everybody into the golden age of Chronos. And I'm not getting into all that. Okay, so he believes that, and it's in the Psalm 23. What do you call it? The higher. Oh my God, the I can't think of what that's called when you spray paint a wall. Anyway, whatever. Wow, this is all live. Okay, so anyway, so this is that Phi right here, and that's his name because remember he signs it that way. That's O, right? There's your clue. O, sideways, kind of B. This is the B, A, and then we're not going to count this right now because I'm going to show you what this is because it's not right there. Then M, and then this M. Look, I figured what this out. The Lord really showed me this. M connects to this M sideways. See, it's the same M, but this also means something else. This other M means something else. I'm going to show you. This M connects to this M sideways. And then we have an A right here with a cross thing, kind of, sort of. Again, this stuff's going to be somewhat hidden. It's not going to be perfect, but you gotta kind of see it. You gotta have different eyes a little bit. But this is the A, and then lightning's coming out of that. He's lightning falling from heaven. And then we have, check this out, right here, I've shared this before, 6. This kind of completes the 6 right here. 6, 2, 3. Obama, lightning falling from heaven, 6, 2, 3. Now let me show you this. And then, so everything's covered except for that. See what that is? What is that? Everything that I'm sharing you in this explanation of Obama is covered. So these are clock hands. Man, I got blown away when I was shown this. This is of course, 12 o'clock. This is 3 o'clock. How do you prove that even more? Look at that M right here. See this M right here? It's really a 3. It's pointing to 3 o'clock. Remember I said 3 o'clock, 3 a.m.? And it's just after. It's not straight across. It's just after 3. And it's pointing to the 3, which is also an M, because Obama goes like this. It's hidden. And JK pointed out, if you basically go cut this in half right here, above here it says Donald, way ahead of time before Donald Trump even became president. JK pointed that out, which is absolutely true too. There's a few things hidden in here. It's crazy. There's dates hidden in here too. I won't go over that right now. JK's pointed that out. This is crazy. This is Obama, lightning falling from heaven at 623. I'm going to get into that 623 more here soon. Right here. Look. Who is this? This is Lady Gaga. And here she is with the lightning falling out her single eye right here, looking at this. And then they do the 666 symbol right here. 6, 6, 6. But the Lord showed me, when he showed me that 623, 923 is 623, you can do this upside down. But let me show you how this is not only 666 sign with the eye and the triangle, and then this is lightning falling from heaven, which is Obama. They're looking for his day. He is 666. He is 623. Okay? We're talking about the 6-month, 23rd day. He is 623, which is also 923. So 6, this is, okay, so remember this is 666. Now let's just forget that all 3 6s are here. Now let's just take 1 6, 1 6, 6, 2 fingers, 1, 2, and then 3 fingers. 6, 2, 3. There it is. Lightning falling from heaven. You saw it on this. Look at that. Do you see this? I hope you do. It's right in front of your face. Now look, next. Now I did a little bit of investigation, even more on this. 623 is 6 month on the Chinese lunar calendar, the 23rd day. How many times since he's been born, Barack Obama has that happen on his birthday? By the way, his birthday is, like I showed earlier, was 8/4/1961. Well, the first time, of course, was on his birthday. It's super rare for the Chinese lunar calendar to be on 6/23, 6 month, 23rd day, and on August 4th. It's super rare. Let me show you how rare it is and how this has been planned. So the first time was on his birth year. Are you kidding me? So he is 623, okay, because that's when he was born. He was born at 623 on the Chinese lunar calendar on 8/4/1961 on the Gregorian. The next time it happened was 1999, which we know. Remember, he's 666. There's 666 upside down. This is, you can't make this stuff up. This is all planned. Then the next time, okay, oh, imagine this. What is it? This year. And when I say this year, I mean this year in the Chinese lunar calendar, not the Gregorian. And that makes him the triple Tau. And I'm going to share what that is soon. I haven't really talked about that too much. He is the triple Tau. Okay, so for example, he's the false Christ. He's the false Messiah. Jesus is the real Christ, the real Messiah. He's going to come out as the Jesus that's going to come out, and a lot of people, the Jews, are going to think he is at first until he goes into the temple and does the abomination which causes desolation and all that. Okay. But he is the triple Tau. They consider him being the golden ratio, the triple Tau. He is a person of truth, and they're sick truth. Okay, let me show you this. This is the triple Tau, symbolic in the triangle, the Mason triangle, and then we have three T's here: T, T, and T. Three triple Tau. Okay, I'm gonna show you what that is in a second. He's the triple Tau. Well, this is the Masonic triple Tau. Now let me show you this. Look, this is the triple Tau. It's a convergence of solstices and couleurs, okay? So this is, I'm not going to explain all this right now. It's just crazy. But you see the T, T, T. It's an astronomical triple Tau. It's a conversion of time frames and such. It's I'm not getting into all that. It's very symbolic, but it is out there. And then what is that similar to? Look at this. See how this is an H right here, two T's together. This is an H. This is the Catholic IHS. And then this is the last T with it's an upside down cross, really. It's an upside down cross. This is showing a forward cross, but it's really, this is an upside down T. Or you can look at it as a T right side up, but it's also an upside down T. And what is it showing? See this gap right here? That is a portal. The triple Tau is a portal. He is the triple Tau, and I'm going to talk more about what that is. Let's go to the next one. That is a portal. That's the same thing as the Arch of Palmyra. Wow, it's Palmyra, which was in Syria, which was the arch, which is really the Arch of Baal. Okay, the Arch of Baal. This is from a book. This is from a Mason book. Okay, and there's the Royal Arch. They consider the 69. 69 is the dimensional portal. Remember, I mentioned the rabbit, the white rabbit, and all that. It's crazy. That's going to a strange place. It's dimensional portal. You know, Alice in Wonderland was about a fallen white rabbit down a hole into another dimension. Okay, that's why it's all over. The white rabbit's all over Jkbugout. And then we also have the 7 stars, which is the Pleiades, which is, I believe, where the bride of Christ is going, which I believe where heaven is. It's also the constellation of Cancer, or the crab, which is also represented many times by 69, which is basically the portal. Okay, so we have two things going on here. We have two births, I believe, and what the Bible shows and what my research shows is two births at the same time. And I've talked about the light side of the coin and the dark side of the coin, and they're both going on at the same time. The enemy's doing his work, which he's really, falsifying or, counterfeiting what God's doing. God's going to have a birth in heaven through a portal, and then at the same time, the Antichrist is going to be birthed. Lucifer is going to enter into Barack Obama as the Antichrist at about the same time. As light leaves, darkness will reign, as the Antichrist will be head of this world at that time, for a short time, for a few years, okay? But this is showing there's several things here, but this is also, I believe, this is possibly Planet X at that time. We're going to show when this portal is going to be open, and then us going to the heaven, which is in these stars here. There's so much going on here, but this is the portal. This is the portal. This is the portal. This is the portal. This is the portal they're talking about. That's why George Bush talked about Psalm 23, which is in, Jkbugout. I just showed you that Psalm 23. He said it on 9/11, and then Barack Obama, I think about 10 years later, said Psalm 46, which was twice 23. 23 plus 23 is 46. And then Trump said during 9/11 speech, he said, just recently, this last year, he said a story about a lady, and he used 69. It's 23, 23, and 23. 23 plus 23 is 46, Psalm 46, plus another 23 is 69, and they're talking about this portal. And it's also 23 sets of 3 sets of 23 chromosomes, which is the mark of the beast, which is the mark of the 666. So there's so much going on here, and I'm not maybe explaining it perfectly. Okay, now let's look at this. So the tau I mentioned, okay, he's the triple tau. Tau is the Greek letter tau, which is T. It's just the T. It's where the T comes from, and it has a value of 19. So he is the triple tau. So 19 plus 19 plus 19 is the triple tau. That's what it means. So 19 plus 19 plus 19, or 19 plus 19 plus 19 is triple tau, which is 57. Now look, how old is Barack Obama this year? 57. Okay, and he said in the past, he said, I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. You think that was a joke? He was just stupid. A lot of conservatives made fun of him. But I believe he was saying that as a hint, that it was a coded message, which he's done tons of them, that this is going to happen when he was 57 years old. And he somehow says 57, not 51, not 59, not 55. He said 57, which is exactly how old he is right now. And he will be 57, I believe, when he becomes the Antichrist, and I'm showing you that. That's my speculation here, okay? Also, like I've mentioned before, Barack Hussein Obama, the whole phrase in Jewish gematria, if you add up all the letters, is 623, like I've mentioned before. And then if you look at his English gematria, I thought the top searches were pretty crazy. Make America Great Again. Are you kidding me? Take what you want from this, but there's a lot of stuff to this gematria, because this is the basis of our languages. Is each letter is a number value. Okay, and when they communicate, the Luciferian global elites in media and to each other, they use numerology. They also use gematria. Look, 23. Talked about 23, 23, and 23. They're so into 23. 923, I-23. Remember Alice in Wonderland. Again, that's associated with the portal, which is when the Antichrist is going to be birthed, when this portal is open, which has to do with CERN and all kinds of stuff. And CERN did that big sign I talked about in 2009 over Switzerland, when Barack Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize, which is another thing that proves that he's the Antichrist, because it was a false sign. Oh, there's so much. I could get into so much. I'm not going to do it. Okay, and then here's an iPad goat. When the Muslim kid, or whatever he is, comes out of the mosque and he scrolls up, and I believe this is the revealing of the Antichrist, okay? Not the birth, the revealing. And I'm going to talk about that, why I think that is, and relate to iPad goat. So we have, this is the revealing of him, and there's a full moon. A lot of people think it's a full moon, but I noticed, and maybe it's the Lord kind of gave me these thoughts, I think it is, it's not a full moon. Why do you say that? Well, this is the moon. Does that look like the moon? No, it's completely different. There's too many dark spots on there. The spots are on the wrong spot, and let me show you here. Now look, this, okay, so someone could say, oh, just by looking at it, oh, it's backwards or whatever, kind of at an angle, it's backwards, but no, it's not. Let me show you here. If you look at this section right here and this section right here, they're they're in the order right next to each other, but they're on the wrong place. So this dot is right here. Okay, these two dots connected right here. See this little like bridge thing over here? That's right here. This is kind of squarish looking. That's right here. This is the exact same, but it's in a completely wrong spot. How do you reconcile this? What is this really saying? This is what I believe it's saying. Look at this. It's really a quarter moon. So if you cut it right here, and then you take this line and move this whole moon right side up like here, then you make this, and then when you view it from this angle in a full moon situation, you'll see this as a full moon. But we see it as a quarter moon. So guess what? There's a quarter moon coming up 8 days after the new year, this is crazy timing, okay? February 12th, 8 days after New Year's, the Chinese New Year, which is right here, which remember I said is February 4th, okay, going into February 5th, but that New Year's Eve, 8 days later, is February 12th, right here, February 12th, right? 8 days later, which is 1/8/19, okay, in the Chinese lunar calendar. Now this is crazy. Why is this crazy? Because, look, when she drops the apple, this is 2 years. This is from 17 to 18, and 18 to 19, because 18 is back here. 18 is back. This is 17. This is 18, and she represents, I believe, both years. And she's going to go from 18 to 19. So when this apple drops, it's the Chinese Lunar Year, and then we have a replication of the apple falling and rolling, but this time it's not moons, which I've shown, and it's crazy. It was moons, absolutely. It hits the exact days, the exact months, lunar calendar in 2018. But now, after the Chinese New Year of 2018 to 2019, this is now, because this is actually yellow, it's days now. So we have 8 days, which fits it completely. It's rolling for 8 days, hits the 8th day, and that makes the 8. Again, there's the 8 right here, and then it splits open on the 8th day. There's Obama's foot. And by the way, I've never said this, I don't think, he's stepping on the royal crown coin. That shows that he is above the crown. He is made by, in a sense, the crown. He is above the crown. He's stepping on the crown. There's no way, if Prince William was the Antichrist, which a lot of people think, he'd be my number 2, but he's just so far from Obama. Obama fits way more stuff than him. I think maybe a lot of people think he is, and I thought he might be, but he's standing on the crown, which is that's a British pound, I believe, or whatever it is. That's the crown, British crown right here. He's on top of it. He is their Antichrist. He was created, okay, in a sense, cloned, basically, with different DNA. So this is the 8th day after the Chinese New Year. It opens up. And this possibly, like I said, I think this is possibly nuclear explosion. So we have, the first form of it is tsunami, which is on the 8th. The Chinese New Year, showing 1119. Okay, and then we have another representation 8 days later. Again, it's multifaceted, multi-layered. This is crazy. The same scene can mean multiple things. This is demonic intelligence. This is not human intelligence. There's so much going on in there. Do not write this off as a cartoon. This is their playbook. And I think I might have the keys to it, some of the keys. There's so much in here that you can possibly understand. I mean, it's blowing. I mean, you have the dark and light stuff even right here. There's so much stuff going on. It's insane. So this is my hypothesis. Okay. So again, we have the 30th, which is 1, 2, 3, and minus the 0. February 4th and 5th, right here. And then we have 1/1/19. And then 8 days later, the apple rolling for 8 days is February 12th. Okay? And that's the year of the pig here. The next year, well, he is a pig. And then this is why. There's another reason why. When the Antichrist comes out of this tunnel, there's the devil's head's right above it, right here, right above it. I should have shown that. But anyway, this is a better shot. But his eyes are closed. He is sleeping. Okay? And then he's coming out, he's being birthed out of the birth canal. If you can see this kind of a birth canal, it's kind of pretty crazy. Some of the crude stuff that they have on here, but this is a birth canal. But you see the waves. This is symbolizing, I believe, the tsunami. See the waves splashing behind him here? So this is the event. This is the so-called 923 of 2018 to 2019 backwards, like I mentioned. Okay, and then they don't show, he's not awake yet. Okay, and his eyes are closed. He's his body's kind of moving a little bit like he's sleeping or something. And then these flowers start blooming. And just imagine, what I imagine these, that came to my mind, just imagine looking over the United States and maybe other parts of the world and seeing these flowers bloom and like nuclear attack, nuclear explosions, several of them. And at the end, it shows several of them. There's several different flowers blooming, which also means the bloom of the Antichrist, relating to even, Hurricane Florence. Florence means flowering and blooming. That had to do with the birth of the Antichrist as well. All these hurricanes were messages, like I mentioned in my other videos. Okay, and then he wakes up. He's like, and then he's right, and then the church crumbles behind him and everything. But this is a distant. There's a time frame here, whatever it is, and I'm speculating it might be those 8 days. You got tsunamis hitting both coasts, and then maybe we engage in a war. And then we finally get hit by nuclear on land, which I think these might be representing these flowers opening all over the place as nuclear explosions. Even the explosions behind the death character, the explosions of the New Year's, even maybe representing nuclear explosions. Okay? underwater and then also above water and on land. So then he's awakened, and I believe that's the revealing of the Antichrist when the child is spinning, and then you see the actual moon, whatever, which I'm saying is a quarter moon, which is on the 12th. Okay. Now this is crazy. Okay, now we get into the next thing. I've talked about this, and I just kind of briefly mentioned it. I never got into it because it was always in the back of my mind about possibility, but I couldn't match it all up with anything until now. Okay, all these people have all these calendars out there. Gregorian, you got the Julian, and you got the Enoch, and you got all these different calendars. And I've done research on all these, and I don't believe any one of them is real at all. And for a couple of years, I've really studied it. And I found a ministry that I feel it can best describe this, and they found some things I found, and then they've added to my understanding. It's called Mikal Shabbat Ministries, and I'm going to put a link in the description box so you can check it out. You can check out this one particular video that I've cut some of these from to show you some examples of kind of more recent video, but they do several of them, and they're very well done. And I believe, based on the sun, moon, and stars, and the word together, the sun, moon, and stars, and the word, that this is the real calendar. Okay, this is the real calendar based on the Father of heavenly lights, not the Father of shadows. Okay, so all our calendars are based on shadows and man's interpretation of times. It's not biblical whatsoever. And here's some scriptures right here. I'm not going to get into all this right now. I'm going to keep moving on in Genesis. There's many other scriptures here. We've got Psalm 90, verse 12. You can look at this yourself and go to that website. I'm not going to spend the time on it, but I'm going to go to that channel. I'm going to have a link in the description box on the YouTube channel and this particular video. Okay, so briefly describe this. Polaris is the North Star. It doesn't change. This is basically the bear. Okay, it says, you bring out the constellation in a season, or do you lead the bear, which is Ursa Major with his sons? And this Ursa Major, which we know as the Big Dipper, Americans know, but it's really the bear going around Polaris, and the actual time it goes around is actually 364 days. It's not 365.25. Okay, and then there's also a seasonal clock, an hourly clock, and a navigational clock based on this. I mean, navigation used to happen on the oceans and seas based on this. They didn't have any way to navigate. They used that, okay? And people used to be able to tell what season it really was by looking at the stars. They didn't have clocks and all that stuff way thousands of years ago. Okay, so that has never changed. But man and the demons working in man have changed all the times and laws to make it hard to figure out what the heck is going on and what time it is. What time is it, right? What time is it? Are we in the last days? Are we in the last moments? Are we in the last seconds? Yes, we are. And so also I want to touch on real quick, it's on full moons when they're fully lit up. God's the Father of heavenly lights, not of shadows. He's not shifting. He doesn't change like shifting shadows. And that is a key. It's telling you that when, the enemy uses sundials and which is based on shadows, that's not how God works. He works on lights that are bright in the sky like stars. He works on a full moon as marking the new it's technically the new moon, but the new moon, as far as the enemy and the Hebrew calendar and all that stuff, is basically a darkened moon with a little sliver of light. And that, of course, the enemy would do opposite of God. This is the full moon lit up is God's timepiece, and the moon, and then, of course, the sun. So when the full moon happens, and it has to do with Abib and the stars, the star Spica and the Virgin, Virgo, in a sense. But when this full moon happens, the next day at the sunrise, again, sun again, is the sunrise is the first day of the month and year. Okay, it's a real clock. All right, and you can look at the information yourself. So basically, what I'm saying is that April this year of 2018, April 30th, April 29th was the full moon. This last year of 2018, this last year of 2018, this last year 2018, we're still in it actually. Was April 30th. Look right here. April 30th was the next day of the full moon as sunrise comes up. And again, there's scriptural basis right here, but you can go to his ministry channel and look at some videos, including this one I have a link for. This is it. I mean, this is the real timepiece. And I thought he might be going by Hebrew calendar, and so because that's how he's showing some different signs. But this is kind of hidden when the rapture and when the Antichrist is going to be revealed and all that stuff is hidden, I believe. So, but let me keep going here. So, if this is the time, then we have, based on full moons, we have these lunar phases, and based on full moons, April 29th, full moon is the time, and I basically go from full moon to full moon, so you can see the months, the actual months, okay? So April 29th was a full moon, and then a month later is month 1, 2, 3, July 27th, August 26th, 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, 7th month, November 23rd, full moon, December 22nd, 8th month, okay? And then we have January 21st, which is coming up, right? And it's the blood moon. Oh, imagine that. A blood moon, a big blood moon that's coming is going to be possibly the marking of something really big. And I'm going to show you another evidence that that's the case. That's the 9th month. And this is crazy now. So remember, we have January 21st, which is the blood moon, and the 9th month, the beginning of the 9th month, which would actually begin on January 22nd, okay? And then to that February 12th, I told you, when the Antichrist revealed 8 days after the Chinese lunar calendar New Year, okay? How many days is that? Well, January, again, 21st is the 9th month. Then you add 22 days, gets you to February 12th. No way, 22, 922. And then that evening, 12:01 is 923. February 13th. So 12th to 13th is 923 also. So we have 923, I believe, for the Chinese lunar calendar from February 4th to February 5th on the Gregorian. But the lunar calendar, Chinese lunar calendar, is 1230 to 1119. I mean, are you kidding me? This is crazy. Now let me show you this. I think it was watchfortheday.org. This gentleman who has this website, you can check it out. He's done these things with the moons, and this is one of God's perfect signs. The tetrad blood moons, how the very middle of this, the middle day is January 5th, 2015, and these blood moons and solar eclipses, or I should say lunar eclipses and solar eclipses, perfectly balance each other on this midpoint. So that's showing something very important. This is so significant. This has never happened in history like this. And these people have done the studies on this, and this has been found, and this is an example from watchfortheday.org right here, where this, and guess what? Here's the last day. So this day in 2010, 12/21/2010, which is crazy, 12/21, are you kidding? And then this is perfectly balanced. 1,477 days from this midpoint, 1,477 days, and look at these. I mean, that's impossible. Sorry, it's impossible. Unless it's designed. There is a creator, okay? If you don't see that, there is intelligent design. There is a creator, okay? I'm saying it's the God of the Bible, okay? But how could this be if it just happened? It just happens, it's random. It's perfectly matched on these days. This is one more of tons and tons of evidence that I know and I've seen that God created this stuff, okay? And then here's an example of Paul Begley. Now, this may be reported wrong. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's literal. But it says, end of the world, blood moon over America is a sign of Jesus Christ's return, which is this one right here. 121 is the blood moon. And it's saying that he's saying this is a prophetic of Christ's return. Now, that's not why and they may have misquoted him. They do that kind of stuff. But my main thing is it's over United States. So, and I'm talking about the destruction of the United States not long after that. Okay, so this is important. And again, I'm speculating about all this, but if you take this blood moon, again, you add 22 days to 23 days is the 22 to 23, which is the 223. And I've seen 223. Me and my wife have seen 223 for the last few years so many times, and we had no idea why, and I think this is why. I've seen on license plates. My wife, I think I shared this before, but my wife saw this one day. She was at an intersection, and she could not believe it. A car went by her in an intersection, and she just saw the license plate. It said 221. And then a car was going the opposite way in the intersection, and it said 222. And then one was coming towards her, I think it was, something like that, and it said 223. She was like, what? This is crazy. In the same intersection, it was 221, 222, and 223. I'm getting into all what that means, but the 22 to 23 is the 223, and I've seen it all kinds of places too. So this is the 223, and I believe the 22 to the 23 is the twilight zone. And my sister Elot has also said that as well, and I'm thankful for that. And I believe, sister, this is the time. This is possibly the time. I'm speculating this is the time that's going from the 22nd to the 23rd, the real 22nd to the 23rd of the 9th month, which is the second 923. There's two 923s, I believe, very possibly. Okay? And so New York and Hawaii are going to be hit by tsunamis, the West Coast causing by an explosion of Kilauea, which caused a massive tsunami, hit the West Coast and destroy Hawaii. 923 is in February, folks. I believe that's very possible. Okay, so you take it however you want it. I'm presenting this to you as best I can. Hopefully, it blesses you to see this information. But I'm warning you, this is not good. This is horrible. What's going to happen? At some point, something like this is going to happen. And I implore you, I beg you, prepare in your heart first and come to the Lord Jesus, please. If you don't know him or you knew him at one point, come back to him. If you don't know him, you don't believe in God, please. Hopefully I'm showing you something that you can believe in God and trust in God, because he's got the only way out of this thing. I'm telling you, I had another dream you can see in my last video, and I have links to it, a link to it about that. We're in the Ark Dream, and I saw this stuff happen. I saw massive people being destroyed and killed from this massive tsunami wave coming, and other people have seen that too in similar ways. A lot of, thousands of people. I think I've seen probably a couple hundred videos of people having dreams. Nuclear explosions come down as the bride's going up, or they're being raptured. Okay, and that's why I think might be that 8th day after the Chinese lunar calendar, which is 12, the night of midnight of February 12th to February 13th of the 9/2/22 to 23. Anyway, I might be wrong on some of this. So what? I might be wrong on all of it. Who knows? I'm doing the best I know, and hopefully this does something for you and helps you to think about things and prepare. Please, I pray to God that you would prepare and open your mind and your heart to Jesus, because he's the only one that really truly cares for you. No one else does. So I pray that you would take this well in Jesus' name. And this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.